She's in Washington, but she doesn't watch these, so it's okay. Yeah, but give it up for everyone that's here, getting out of bed. Life is tough, right? Yeah. But everyone have a good Thanksgiving. Right. I'm so glad Thanksgiving's over. Now we could jump forward, focus on my favorite time of the year. Eggnog season. Anyone have eggnog this year? Yeah, this seems like this year they're just coming out with more flavors. Have you tried any of the new ones? Anyone?
Just the vegan one.
Just the vegan one. Well, it seems like they're coming out with more this year, like the vegan, like if you're into the nuts, there's the coconuts, the almonds, the peanut eggnog. And if you're still milking this joke, there's the whole milk, the 2%, the goat milk. But if you really want to know which one's the really good one, like the vegan one's pretty good. But then if you really want to know what's the really good one, it's the vape e-juice eggnog. It is so good if you've never tried that.
What is it?
The vape e-juice? You know like that? No, but the crazy thing is with the vape juice and the eggnog, we don't even know what's in it, right? Like, if you pour it out, there's just speckles in it, and yeah. But I know what you're thinking, literally, why don't you just look on the back of the box? It's like literally right there, right? The ingredients, there's like probably like non-egg and like vegan ones. And I tell everyone the same thing. Why don't look at the back of the peanut butter when you go ham on it, when I'm going in on it at midnight? I'm not trying to look at the calories, right? Anyone look at the calories on eggnog? Yeah, it's just wild. It has like the 1-to-1 like olive oil ratio. When you look at the oils, you're like, holy fuck, how is that like 150 and 150 in a tablespoon? But I don't think it should matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter because body mass index, BMI, that's just IBM when you're really high. Like, it's just a number. It's a number that we made. But yeah, it is 2018. I've had a good year, and it's about to be 2019. Then I'm still living resolutions from 2017 to be a significantly better person on my and live up to potential, and to finally quit smoking, which is damn near impossible, right?
Do it.
Yeah. Since this thing called the Juul came out. Anyone know what the Juul is? I feel like the younger generation might know, but it's just the, what did you call it?
E-Def.
E-Def. I think it's cool, but it's one of the many e-cigarettes. If you've seen it, you can get it at a gas station, but it's so small. Like Steph might be hitting one right now. It's like impossible to see. It's impossible to see if you're smoking it, and it's crazy. All these new flavors they have. They have like berry, cherry, dairy, non-dairy, fairy, all for what? Some digital cancer, right? Call me old school, but I like that. I got no long cigarettes, like the Michael and the Jackson 5. But I think cancer is not funny. We shouldn't joke about that. Or the e-cigs. It is a big epidemic. Like I heard from someone that it's an epidemic, a pandemic. Even the kids in Europe are doing that, sneaking off into the bathroom. Going to vape alone, it's a big deal. But that's not an epidemic. It's just called me eating lunch alone in the bathroom, so I don't need to talk to my coworkers. But yeah, this is a PSA against Juuls, FYI. For all the kids that are seeing, you'll start to notice it. If you see them, you think they're smoking weed, but it's just a Juul, and it's okay. But just this in, my agent called, and breaking news from Hollywood. If you ever wanted to know what Ryan Reynolds sounded like as a Pokemon from The Proposal. Anyone see The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Great movie, right? And if anyone wanted to know what Ryan Reynolds from Deadpool 1, 2, and Green Lantern sounded out as Pikachu, fasten up your seatbelts. Hollywood done got so fucking high, they came up with a live-action movie about Pokemon called Detective Pikachu. Anyone hear of this movie? I feel like it's a younger generation thing, too. Like, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's okay. No, I'm quite a bit older, so I had to look into that. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, just wipe out like 10 seconds of that. Okay, yeah, Pokemon is just ageless, but yeah. Can you imagine Ryan Reynolds getting that role, Hollywood calling him, and Hollywood's like, Ryan, we know Deadpool 1 and 2 almost grossed $1 billion. You're doing it really big, and we know you probably got shows booked like all over the place. But you know that one detective movie with that badass Danny Glover, Lethal Weapon. We want you to be Mel Gibson, but except as Pikachu. Then Ryan Reynolds is thinking about it. He's like, Stanley just died. Rest in peace, Stanley. Everyone knows Stanley. Doesn't matter what age you are. Okay. But yeah, this one's for Stan. Then we're like, we don't know what's happening in the Marvel universe after Avengers fucked up everything. Then we don't even know if Black Panther 2 is coming out after Stan Lee died. It's all up in the air. And Ryan Reynolds like, yes, I'll do it. I will be Pikachu. But then I did have an epiphany earlier. Tara was asking about if we had any epiphanies. Did anyone else have an epiphany? She had proposed that question. No, I had a big epiphany. I realized exactly 0 people have came up to me. Like, I started telling jokes for a while, but then no one has ever came up to me and said, Andy, how do you come up with these? Then exactly 2 people have came up to me this week and asked, Andy, are you going to get to work today? It's like some of these things you don't want to ask. And some people might know I work at the City Market South End Produce Department at 207 Flynn Avenue in Burlington, Washington. Or Burlington, Vermont. Okay, we'll wipe 10 seconds of that. In Burlington, Vermont. And the phone number is 802-540-6640. If you ever wanted to leave a call and leave a comment card, they take them all very seriously. Then you have options like this. Andy is an excellent worker. He's very knowledgeable about heirloom apples. Andy has a great sense of humor. He has a great knowledge of heirloom tomatoes. Andy is so knowledgeable and friendly and not that annoying. And he has a great knowledge of heirloom potatoes. And you could call in to take all the customer things very seriously.
And you can find the time.
And you could find the time, yeah. But best it's physically to go there, 207 Flynn Avenue. And we
Needs a raise.
Well, the thing is, they won't give me a raise, but they'll tell my boss, and it'll give me a big boost of self-esteem. But a lot of people, like, during those 8 hours are the best time of my life. I mean, that's where I write some of my jokes, the best time. Hour number 1, that's where I'm really efficient. Like, that's where I think about all my jokes that didn't do well, and I just toss them out. And I end up just recycling them again and see if they'll work. Then the second hour, that's when my coworker Charles comes in. And he loves it when I tell these new jokes to him. And that's when he's like, not today, Andy. I'm busy. But then I know that's just the signal that he wants to hear more. Then my other coworker comes in. She starts mumbling to herself. It starts making me nervous. And I tell her to chill out. And people love it when they tell them to chill out. Then I have to deal with my coworker Allison, who comes in next. And I have to explain why I told the other coworker to chill out. But it's okay, Allison understands. She just says, Andy, living and learning. That is such beautiful words. And she's like, Andy, you're living, but you ain't learning. But the next part, it's great. When my boss comes in, we won't say his name. Then we'll continue on. And then that's when I up the sarcasm to another level. And you would not be surprised, or you might be surprised how far the sarcasm level could go. I mean, we're right here, and it could just go a little bit further. The sarcasm is off the limits, off the meter. Then what happens next? Then hours 6 and 7 is when I'm very efficient, when I focus on customer service. I'm in just customer service mode. Doesn't matter if like there's an earthquake, I'm just in customer service mode. My favorite one is, are you gonna pay for that? Just like Brussels sprouts in your hand, are you gonna pay for that? Coffee cup you're gonna pay for later, are you gonna pay for that? Bathroom, are you gonna pay for that? But then hour number 8, that's when I'm most efficient. Like that's when I really get to focus on myself. Focus on my self-efficacy. Try to rationalize, did I just waste that 7 hours for 2 minutes of material? But then you might be thinking, oh, was that just 7 hours today? No, that was 7 hours for 3 months, and you just multiply that by 5, because I only worked 5 days. But then it just, wow, did I just waste that much time? But then I realized those 8 hours are just so important in my life. I feel so productive. Because the next 16 are just little questionable decisions that just become little problems. But breaking news from Hollywood again, my coworker Charles called, and he said, Andy, do you actually have any friends outside of work? Do you know anyone? It seems like you've been in Vermont for a while. You kind of just hang out at work. Then that hurts, right? Because I actually do know some people, right? This homeless guy named Jim, met outside of Home Depot in Williston. I usually pay him to hang out with me. We go eat. We go to Olive Garden. I get him the breadsticks. Get him the salad too, even some antipasto. Is that how you say it, antipasta? Antipasta. Because when me and Jim are there, we're family. And what else? The 802-540-6640. If we could memorize that, then you could just call in. They take everything very seriously. And again, we could go over those options. As long as it ends in something in an heirloom vegetable, then they'll take it very seriously. Now, I don't know why you're laughing, but yeah, thank you, Tara, for this open mic. Okay, grateful, blessed.